3, 2, 1.
What's up, everyone? Dan here, Crypto Capital Venture, June 12th, 2019. I hope you're doing well. Bitcoin confidently breaking above $8,000 as of right now, trading around $8,180, almost $8,200. Let's jump into the charts and look at Bitcoin from a pattern perspective as well as momentum perspective and what we can anticipate on the upside if Bitcoin does what it does often, which is follows Litecoin. Now, you might not be a long-term Litecoin investor. You might not even like Litecoin, but the charts do not lie. Throughout these markets, throughout the years, Litecoin often leads the way in terms of markets. So what Litecoin has done recently is just make some ridiculous moves. Not going to talk too much about it. But I just want to point out real quick, we have the 50 moving average cross above the 200 moving average. That happened in March for Litecoin. For Bitcoin, again, that bullish move, that bullish cross came in April, around a month later. There's just one very simple example of how Litecoin often does that. It kind of leads Bitcoin in gains. It doesn't do it all the time. It just does it sometimes. And so most recently, as you know, Litecoin has been making some great gains, and Bitcoin has kind of just been stagnant. So is Bitcoin now waking up? It's something to be ready for because it happens so often before. So let's talk about these patterns, and then we're going to talk about momentum. These patterns that we have right now that you see on the screen are twofold. Number one, we had this rising wedge back here of higher highs and higher lows that was broken to the downside, and we were waiting for a revisit to the lower trend line, which we got, right? And a confirmation of further downside would have been rejection there. What happened is that entire pattern got busted and Bitcoin broke through the bottom trend line and actually hit a target to the upside, which confirmed a busted rising wedge. Now, we fell into a new rising wedge for Bitcoin, higher highs, higher lows. You see it here. And something similar has happened as of last week, around June 3rd, a little over a week ago. And we came to the downside again, the bottom trend line broke to the downside. We've been anticipating a move to the lower trend line, just like what happened back here. And we want to see, is there going to be resistance, or are we on our way in terms of forming another busted rising wedge? It would be extremely bullish for Bitcoin, considering what Litecoin has been doing. It's definitely possible. Let's talk about the rising wedge being broken. First off, in terms of resistance, we have some areas of resistance. I just want to chart real quick for you. We can take our fib retracement from that previous swing high at the upper trend line to our most previous and lowest swing low. And we have this area of resistance right here around 8,700. That's the 786. If Bitcoin in its current move can continue to the upside and we see it breaking through $8,700, then it's something we really need to keep our eyes on, because at that point we're entering a very confluent zone, which is this bottom trend line, right? So there's a lot of resistance right in this little area right here, that 786 line to that bottom trend line. To the upside, just to give you an idea of what that looks like from where we are right now, that is around only 7 to 10%, 7 to 11% to the upside. That can happen very quickly. What will happen when we get there? Keep your eyes on that. If we get a rejection, then it could be a very standard move for Bitcoin in testing the lower trend line of a rising wedge for continued downside. Will that happen? I don't know. Nobody knows. Right now, the market sentiment extremely bullish. Everybody is anticipating a huge move for Bitcoin. That's just the bottom line. Whether or not that happens, it's why we track the charts. But to the upside, if we get a busted rising wedge, right now the target to the upside is around $12,000 Bitcoin. So if you want to get a sense of what that looks like from where we're trading right now, that is around 47% gains. You can see how it played out in that last rising wedge back here, when we got that busted rising wedge back here. From that swing low down here, at the very least, to swing high, 67% gains. Keep in mind, that was followed, after hitting targets, that was followed by a quick, and I remember this, I did not see this happen. It happened so quick. It's hard to chart that. It's hard to say we went down 26% because it happened so fast. But at the very least, we had a 16% retracement which is the beginning of this new rising wedge that we're in. So we're tracking these patterns. Most interestingly, in synergy with these patterns, what we want to look at is the momentum of Bitcoin. So here we are on the daily chart zoomed out, and you get a sense of the momentum of Bitcoin. Right now we can look at the MACD. We see the momentum shift here from that previous swing low. The shift is on the upward rise, right? You never want to really, or at least I never really want to step in front of a downward shift back here under zero on the histogram. But when we start getting this upward rise and we get this MACD line, you can see it starting to turn up, right? Then we start opening our eyes a little bit to see, is Bitcoin getting ready to make a move? And this is the daily chart, right? So that's a very nice move to see on the daily chart in terms of RSI, upward momentums, the upward momentum, the room for momentum, a ton. Right now, only sitting at 55 on the RSI, and we have plenty of room to grow. Just want to show you, when we had that last bullish move out of this swing low and that last rising wedge that broke us up, we can see where we were on the RSI then in terms of what was ahead for Bitcoin. Same area, right here. This is where we got that move right around 55. It's where we're at right now. Ton of room to the upside for Bitcoin. Really want to track it, just see what happens right now. But it's nice to see Bitcoin, at the very least for now, as I do this video, above $8,000. Here we are on the 4-hour chart. You can get a sense of what it looks like. I like to watch the 4-hour chart. The biggest thing to look for in the 4-hour chart would be the 50 moving average cross above the 200 moving average. So we had that recent bearish cross back here, but we're getting an upward shift. We want to see this cross right back above the 200 moving average. Short term, that's the step in the right direction. That's what we want to see. And you can kind of see we didn't get a bearish cross with the 50 moving average below the 200 moving average back here when we got this huge upward move, but you can see that shift right there in the 50 moving average. We're looking for a similar shift right now. There's a ton of upside for Bitcoin right now. 12,000 is the target for the most bullish of bullish upside. Let me know your thoughts below. Do you agree with that? Do you think we're going to hit $10,000? Are we going to break the $10,000 area? I want to know what you're thinking. I always love seeing the comments below. If you think we're getting ready to go down, let me know that as well. If you're here right now or you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button. I would love to have you as part of the channel. I will see you all in the next video. Have a great day, and God bless.